How do you measure success these days? You've got many awards on the walls, Grammys around the house, but what is success to you?
When you find like I guess a sense of you're content. Like I'm happy with just getting up and you know not having to make music. I think that's when you feel successful. I'm never like at the mercy of like I have to always have hits. That's I've been lucky that like the hits have just come by accident a lot of times. If I was always getting up in the morning like how do I make a hit record? You're gonna go crazy. You're gonna lose your mind.
You
Just
talk,
have fun, man.
yeah, you touched on selling your catalog. I mean, getting organized around publishing is very important for an artist these
Yeah.
days. I sometimes feel like the transactional nature of the record business, of like one-offs all the time. I mean, it's almost like your relationship with a publisher. Your publisher now is almost like an old school record company of like 30 years ago.
It is.
In the sense he's a constant in your life.
It
Is
is,
that
but you have to also be a songwriter. A lot of people aren't. Like
yeah?
they're like making records and making beats. You're not gonna sell your catalog with just having dance records. You know, a few of them are massive.
Yeah.
Like you work in
Yeah.
that business, it's few and far between.
Yeah.
We look at a record like a record label like Spinnin'. When they're at their highest point, they were probably dropping like 20 records a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And after 100 records, they'll have one like Animals.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they have to drop records,
Yeah.
and now their catalog's enormous because they had so much material.
Similar to what Ultra did back in the day.
Yeah, but you just have to keep putting out
True,
records.
yeah.
But that's the labels making money. The songwriters, there's only one. There's only Martin Garrix only had like that one. He has a bunch of massive songwriting now. He's a big songwriter as well, but he had to transition to that.
Yeah.
So if you want to make money long term, you got to move towards songwriting.
Diversify as
You have
well.
to diversify.
Yeah.
Also, don't be afraid to like look. David Guetta had a whole period where he was doing hip hop for like 2 years, and he made some big records with like Nicki Minaj or
Calvin Harris.
Calvin Harris. Calvin Harris had his biggest records streaming were probably from the funk soul wave, funk wave bounces. Frank Ocean, huge record with him. Calvin's like just another guy I think he's a DJ by default. He probably hates it because he's at his strongest and probably his
Well,
most.
I remember him when he was actually lead singer of his own band.
We had that outfit on.
Yeah, yeah, and he was embarrassed. He didn't like that. I remember that. I think I was almost at the last gig he ever sung, like as a lead singer of a band, and then he
We had like
switched
the outfit that was like
yeah,
all
yeah,
like
like girls and 80s and all that stuff. But
he's badass, but he knew that. He knew how to do that, and he knew how to pick a guitar up and make a
yeah,
great
he
record.
didn't know how to DJ. That's for sure.
He
When
hated
started,
DJing.
yeah,
I feel like he always was like, I don't like doing that, but at the end of the day, he made some of the best records in
yeah.
in our genre. You don't have to be a DJ either. You could be in the behind the scenes too, and make records that are great for other people, or just in the underground. You don't have to tour. Like with Switch, eventually he was like, "Yo, I can't tour with you anymore. It's too crazy. Like I'm like, that's not healthy. I want to go to sleep."
Yeah.
He liked being in the studio more than being on the road, and I love being on the road. So it was like we had to find a way that make that work.
Right.